Hello there, and welcome to my channel, Novice Modelling in a Midlife Crisis. My name's Andy, and today I'm going to give you a quick kit review on the TAMIYA 1/72 scale Republic P-47D Thunderbolt Razorback. So, let's have a look at what's in the box. Now, as is my normal way of doing these films, I'm just going to give you a quick readout of the blurb which TAMIYA kindly provide us, giving us a little bit of history on the of this plane. So, in May 1941, while the war was raging in Europe, a single-engine fighter weighing over 4 tons made its first flight. This revolutionary plane was the XP-47B prototype of the Republic P-47 Thunderbolt, of which a total of 15,683 units would be built in all. The experimental aircraft was equipped with a 2,000 horsepower radial R2800 engine. Even when equipped with 8 12.7mm machine guns, this prototype was able to reach 633 kilometers per hour. In January 1942, just after the US went to war, the production of the P-47B began. It was followed by the P-47C, which incorporated various improvements, and from April 1943 by the P-47D. The P-47D was equipped with an R2800/59 engine featuring a water injection system and could generate up to 2,300 horsepower in an emergency combat scenario. Ducts on the sides and below the fuselage connected the supercharger placed behind the pilot's seat and contributed to the plane's massive form. Many subtypes of the P-47D, designated D1 to D40, were produced, but the first versions were called Razorback because of their sharp-edged dorsal fin running from the canopy to the upper fuselage. The P-47D, which equipped many units such as the 56th Fighter Group of the 8th Air Force, was used to escort B-17 and B-24 bombers. Whereas the Spitfire could not go beyond the coasts of continental Europe, the P-47 accompanied the bombers as far as the western parts of Germany. After the introduction of the longer-range P-51 in spring 1944, the P-47 came to be used for ground attack missions because of its robustness and its 1-ton payload capacity. The concept of the P-47 had a great influence on the development of its successors, such as the F-84 Thunderjet and the F-4 Phantom II. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the instructions, and I expect nothing less from TAMIYA than some pretty good, basic, well laid out instructions that are generally ideal for novices like myself. So we've got the first section, which is basically cockpit construction. Then we're going to put the fuselage together, and then we're going to progress to putting the engines, the propeller, and the wheels on. Then we're going to go to some of the small parts, which includes the bomb and I think the external fuel tank. And as you can see, at the end of the day, we'll end up with something like this. It's a bit of a shame these colour schematics aren't actually coloured, but at the end of the day, these should be fine. Now, let's have a quick look at the sprues. What we have here is we have 2 screws. Like I said, I think this is the external fuel tank. It looks like we've got some rocket attachments maybe, and we've got a nice little bomb here as well. The wheel has some nice detailed tread on it. And the second sprue, again, I think we've got another, I'm not sure whether this is a bomb or a external fuel tank, but only time will tell. This one's got some nice detailed parts, which looks like it's going to be part of the cockpit. Again, we've got some nice detail here. I'm not quite sure what this part is again, but I think this is cockpit again. And moving on to this sprue, we've got the wings, which we can see have got some really nice panel lines. And you can actually see some small rivets going on here as well. That's kind of nice. This part looks really detailed. You can see the flaps are actually attached, but that gives you the option of having this really nice detail on the flap mountings. And we've got the engine bay. We've got the engine going on here as well. Not quite sure what these parts are, but I think this is undercarriage. Yes, that's the undercarriage there. We've got the tail wheel. Yeah, and quite a large propeller, which obviously you need to stick together. And here we've got the actual fuselage, and we seem to have another propeller. That's interesting. Not quite sure what that's for, but there we go. We've got an extra propeller, and as we can see, we've got this Razorback sort of thing going on here, which they talked about in the blurb. Again, we've got some nice panel lines which are recessed into the mould, and we've got what looks like some more. That looks like the actual pilot's seat. And we have the clear parts of the canopy. This is a two-piece canopy, and this is the gun sight. Now, I actually lost the gun sight on an earlier model because I don't think I actually knew what it was, and somebody kindly pointed out that it was part of the actual clear plastic section. And it looks like we've got some wingtip lights here as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's kind of nice. Okay, and then finally we're going to move on to the decals. Now, I must admit, when I was browsing through looking for planes to buy, I saw this one. I saw this nose art on here, which is called Little Chief, and I kind of thought, well, that's really nice. I'm going to have a go with that one. You also get an additional decal for Sleepy Time Gal, and here we've got a nice addition, which is part of what Tamiya seem to do, which is the seatbelt straps. Again, we've got more of the Little Chief nose art here as well, and we've got the standard US roundel markings. Yeah, that's kind of good, that. I like that. Okay. Now, obviously we also get this pick, which is the Tamiya Tech Bits. I've gone over this before in a different model, in a different video, and for someone like me, this is really useful. I mean, at the end of the day, I am a novice at this and the whole YouTubing process, so that's going to come in handy for anyone that's a bit of a muppet like myself. So, anyway, that looks like about it. I'm just going to wrap this up and put it all back in the box. I'm not actually going to be building this anytime particularly quickly. As those of you familiar with my channel, I actually have a collection of 33 Spitfires, and I'm slowly progressing through these, building them rather quickly, just to kind of get my head around building them. My intention for these other models is actually to practice painting on them, and hopefully I'm going to get around to building this probably in the next 4 weeks or so. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my little video. Questions and suggestions are welcome. Please like and subscribe, and join me for my model building ride. Be seeing you.